Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Across the Stages podcast brought to you by AbsoluteMotorsport.com and the LOEB TV. I'm here with Joshua Statil, and boy oh boy have we got a lot to talk about because Rally Spain has just finished and it has been a cracking event. And the winner, none other than 9-time world champion Sebastian Loeb, his first win in 5 years, and of course he's made a few guest appearances this season, and what an incredible achievement from him to win this rally.
Absolutely, a really, really superb drive. I mean, he sort of deserved the victory, I think, in Mexico early in the year, was really quick in Corsica as well. So I think a really well-deserved victory for Loeb, and what has been he sort of come back to the championship and just instantly been on it, really. I didn't really see him sort of a sort of victory contender on Friday, but sort of around Saturday, he really seemed to get his act together, didn't he? And then sort of by Sunday, you felt like even though he wasn't in the lead coming into the day, he was the sort of favourite for the win because he seemed to be sort of back to the Loeb we know, despite it being 44. So yeah, like you say, really, really impressive stuff, right?
Yeah, I think he just got stronger as the event went on. And that tyre call this morning, going onto the hard tyres when everyone else went on the softs, you would not think that someone who'd been out the sport for so long would be the person who was coming up with the genius calls on the strategy front. But yeah, in the end, very close rally. He didn't dominate at all because Sebastian Ogier ran him mighty close, and in general the rally was just incredibly competitive, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we had obviously the championship fight, which everyone had sort of one eye on. Where's Ogier, where's Neville, where's Tanak? But then we just had a load of other drivers in the mix. We had, of course, Latvala right up there. He could have won it. Obviously, we had Lowe. We had Danny Sordo. It looked, at one point looked like he could be up there. One of the biggest prizes was probably Elfyn Evans. I don't think anyone was really sort of putting him in sort of podium contention, but he walks away with a podium. And I guess James sort of did an important job for the benefit of his teammate, which I guess sort of, unfortunately, Neville's teammates failed to do. Sordo, didn't take any points off Ogier, did off Tanak, but obviously not off the main guy. And obviously same as well for Tanak as well. His teammates not able to get involved in terms of the results. So, yeah, what great job for Evans. Probably one of the stars of the rally, I think, alongside, Loeb and quite a few others as well.
Yeah, I think Evans was... I think that kind of sense of driving for his career really shone through in this rally because he did a mighty job. And as you say, yeah, he hasn't really supported Ogier that much this season, but today, especially, he really did a job. And that's given Ogier the championship lead. 3 points now over Neuville going into the final event. But we'll come to that a little bit later on. Let's go through some of the things that actually happened in this rally because there was a lot of stuff. So on Friday, of course, Oyt Tanak looked almost certain like he was going to pick up victory. But like in Wales Rally GP, hit problems and ended up nowhere near that battle for the lead, finishing up in 6th. A real big shame for him with those problems on Saturday, wasn't it?
Again, a really small mistake, just like in Wales Rally GB, and that lost him a whole heap of points. So, yeah, he's pretty much, I think, out of the championship now. He's still mathematically in contention, but he need both Ogier and Neville to have a problem and not recover and not really score any power stage points. So, yeah, it's kind of unlikely, but he did a great job to win the power stage, had loads of pace. And I think, more than anything, sort of going into next year and sort of the second half of the year, he's looked the strongest. Him and Toyota seem to have a really, really good package. It's working well. There's no reason why they can't win Australia, even if they can't win the championship.
Yeah, and they were mighty strong with Jari-Matti Latvala as well, who had a puncture on Friday when he was fighting with Tanak for the lead. Dropped all the way down to 10th, but by Saturday night he was the rally leader again. So an incredible job by him, and on those days. And I think that really goes to show the strength of the Toyota. And how strong they are. Just a shame about what happened to him, of course, today, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and the motion as well. When we saw him at stage end, that was quite something. That obviously means that an awful lot to Latvala, and he really deserved a strong result this rally, but unfortunately, it fell down to 6th, and then obviously had to drop back to 8th to let his teammates through. Strangely, Lappy as well was let through, but I guess it doesn't really matter in terms of the championship. In terms of Latvala's side, all he wants is sort of wins and podiums, and yeah, I feel like he does deserve a win, because this second half of the season has been so strong. He's been sort of up there with Tanak. And in this weekend, I feel like he was a bit of a match for Tanak as well, most of the points. So it was a shame, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he really is desperate for that win. I think he's gone so long now without a rally victory that's kind of starting to play on his mind a little bit. He's desperate for it, but surely it's only a matter of time because yeah, he's been so strong in the last couple of events and easily could have won this rally. I mean, if he hadn't had that puncture on Friday, he would have been leading by about 40 odd seconds, wouldn't he? Or very close with Tanak as well. So, yeah, pretty interesting on that front. And of course, as well, Spain is this mixed event. So on Friday, we had Neuville down in 9th, we had Ogier down in 7th. And I'm just thinking, that seems like a world away from what we've witnessed, considering they were so close to the win at the end. I think it shows just how strong Neuville and Ogier are now. Just fighting for that championship has just brought them up another level to come back from where they were. Such an incredible job.
Well, Ogier's got the experience of that, so we sort of expect it from him. But I think I was really impressed with Neville this weekend because he sort of had a few difficult rallies, hasn't quite had the pace. But the way he came back from that difficult position, the way he was able to almost catch Ogier, and at one point it sort of looked like he might be able to throw himself into contention there. But I guess that sort of fell away from him in the power stage. And I guess James, in the end, he did enough because even though he's lost the championship lead, he's only 3 points behind and has the better road position for Australia. So it's not too bad, is it, to finish behind Ogier and lose a points lead, as it maybe first seems.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people before the weekend were saying, were people going to purposely drop behind in the championship? And as it turned out, that wasn't the case. But it has ended up that way for Neuville. So yeah, in a way, he's in a good position, 3 points behind. But if he can finish a couple of places ahead in the top 5, then he's going to win the World Championship, and yeah, he's going to have that advantage. So yeah, it hasn't played up too badly for Neuville. I think most importantly for him, he looked quick again, which he has
Yes.
not
Hmm.
since the summer break, has he?
Basically, yeah, I mean, that's the important thing. The pace was there, so he knows he can go to Australia and really try and challenge O'Shea and the rest of them. So, yeah, really, really good stuff from Neville. And, his teammate Sorda as well, should talk a bit about him. He came fifth in the end. He was another driver who possibly could have won. But I guess, James, it came down to sort of poor tyre choices and the pace as well sort of fell away a little bit sort of on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I think there were just a few stages went there which just weren't quite on it, and when it was so tight, you can't really afford that. But of course, he was leading very briefly, which was nice to see. But yeah, very good job by him. A shame that it didn't result in a podium because I think he really deserved that. But it just goes to show how good Sordo's looking at the moment, doesn't it? He looks really good.
Absolutely. I mean, he could have, like you say, got a podium, could have even won this event. Important manufacturer points as well, because, of course, their other teammate, Andres Mikkelsen, was completely off the pace, finished down 10th. So without all those points, Hyundai would be out of contention in the constructors. I mean, should we talk about Mikkelsen? Because, what's going on there? I mean, this was one of his worst rallies of the season. I mean, no major incidents, but just really awful pace.
I've never seen someone collapse so badly as what he did on that Saturday morning when it was raining. He looked like someone who was driving a World Rally car for the first ever time, to be honest. And it's a real shame because we know he's a really good driver, but he's not showing it at the moment whatsoever. And yeah, it was really, really strange. He just was 30 seconds off the pace per stage on Saturday. And he was someone who was very close on Friday. At the end of Friday, he was neck and neck with Ogier. He almost went on to win the rally. So, yeah, very strange. And you kind of get that thought now. Is he going to be much help at all to Neville in Australia?
I mean, his pace is better on gravel. I think, obviously on Friday, like you say, he was decent. So the confidence is maybe a little bit on gravel, but he's absolutely nowhere on asphalt. I mean, obviously when the rain comes down, it's a bit of a leveler, and it's a lot about sort of confidence in the car. And I guess that sort of showed that right now, he's got no confidence in that car. So yeah, agreed. His pace is good on gravel, but it's still not where it used to be. So yeah, he's probably not going to be much help, like you say, and that's going to be pretty important in such a close fight.
But I think that just about covers everything from WRC. Although actually one thing I do want to talk about is with regards to Evans, going back to him. Um, do you think that performance is enough for him to be signed on again at M Sport for next season?
I fear it may be a little bit too late. If he could do something similar in Australia, that would be great. But I'm not sure that this one performance will be enough. It was really, really good to see. Like I say, I think his best rally of the year. Maybe Portugal was slightly better, or certainly in results, but the way he was able to drive this weekend was pretty good. But I do fear it may be a little bit too late. And I think it's a lot down to money as well. I don't think he brings much money.
No.
He's had a lot of chances as well. So, yeah, he'll be in trouble for next year, I think.
Yeah, I myself, I'm really not sure. I suppose it depends about how far things were in the background, which we really don't have an idea about. We've just been hearing rumours about possibly Breen, possibly Padden going there.
Yeah.
We don't know how far that is in the background. This, as you say, might be too late. But personally, if I was making a decision just after this rally, I'd probably end up keeping Evans, but maybe it's too late for him. That would be a bit of a shame. So yeah, that is now everything in WRC. On to WRC2, which we didn't get to see much of because everyone finished the rally in WRC, so we didn't get to see much coverage, unfortunately, of WRC2. But it was a very interesting event because VW were there for the first time with their Polo GTI R5, and they looked really strong, didn't they?
Absolutely. I mean, Eric Camely probably would have won this event had it not been for that sort of gear shift issue or the sort of gearbox issue. I'm not quite sure exactly what it was, but that was to be expected. From a new car, it was always going to have problems. Petter Solberg still managed to get on the podium, but I mean, what does this do for Eric Camely's rep as well? I think because it was obviously a great debut for the Polo, but Camely was leading the way. He was, easily got the better of Solberg. He was beating the regulars. Like obviously Kopecky and then obviously Rovanperä, who won the class. So yeah, really good stuff from both VW and Camely. I hope we see a full season from them next year. Obviously, it won't be factory run, but I really hope there'll be some sort of privateer campaign for Camely next year in that Polo because James, I mean, he was impressive and the car as well was instantly, I think I was saying before the recording, it's already basically the second best R5 car, only behind the Skoda at least at the moment from this initial impression.
Yeah, and it's very close, which we just haven't seen all season, have we? We've seen Skoda running off from stage one into the distance, but yeah, VW were able to challenge them for 1.5 days, which we really just haven't seen whatsoever apart from in Sweden. And yeah, going to be interesting. The only thing I fear is, will that VW dominate the privateer, because obviously it's splitting next year, factory WRC to Pro, and then the privateers. I fear that VW privateer cars could be dominating the WRC 2 standard competition pretty badly, like they did in WRC from 2013 to 2016. But I guess
We may just have to sort of ignore that divide and sort of take it to the R5
yeah,
class again,
yeah, I think we
because
could. Yeah.
it's probably a better way of sort of looking at it. Because, like you say, I mean, yeah, there's been no competition. Surely it'll just be VW and Camely winning everything. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. But yeah, very good. Very nice to see Petter Solberg back in a decent result. But yeah, he didn't quite have the pace of Camely. And in the end, he was on the podium behind Jan Kopecky, the WRC2 champion now. That was confirmed before the event because Skoda won't be going to Australia, so that ruled out any chance. But as it turned out, he would have claimed it anyway with a strong second position, but he was unable to beat Kalle Rovanperä, who beat Kopecky on a mostly tarmac event, which I think just shows how far Rovanperä has developed in this season.
Absolutely. I mean, somewhere he hasn't been before. Rally GB was obviously somewhere he was the previous year, second go at it, and obviously he won there. That was really impressive. But this was probably just as impressive because obviously he hadn't been there, and like you say, on two different surfaces as well. And one of those, obviously, where Jan's pretty strong on. So yeah, great stuff from him. The talk is going to start about him making the jump up to WRC. It won't be for next year, of course, but it's definitely for 2020, some kind of deal there. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was some sort of one-off thing at the end of next year as well. So that's something to keep an eye on, right? Because he's doing an impressive job and should be, I think, third in the championship now. So not too far off Tiedemann at the end of the year. And I guess if things went slightly different earlier in the year, he had that huge crash, of course, earlier in the year. If that hadn't happened, then he could have even won the championship.
Yeah, He definitely could have, and the omens for next year, I would bet my house on him winning the WRC2 Championship for next season, and that's going to be, I would imagine, a walkover from him. But we can't.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, we don't know.
Whoa, I don't know.
We don't know, but that's what I think.
He's going to all the events he hasn't done as well, which I think is great. He could just go to the events he's doing this year, and like you say, he'd probably easily walk the championship. But he's going to the events he hasn't been to yet, just to gain that experience. So that's shows pretty good maturity.
But of course, we can't gloss over the fact that Jan Kopecky has had an absolutely fantastic season. He ran Rotherham Pair really close. It was only 8 seconds in the end. Couldn't quite get that 100% record, which is a real shame. But 143 points, 5 wins, 1 second place. An incredible achievement for him at 35 years old. I think it's really nice that he's got his chance at this point in his career to take the WRC2 Championship.
I mean, he will be in our top 10 as well. We're going to do a top 10 at the end of the year, and I feel like he will be for the overall, all the drivers in all the classes. I think he has to be right up there because, that was impressive stuff, definitely.
And there were a lot of rallies, weren't there, where he was not looking like it was a chance to win, where he's having punctures and stuff, and he still managed to come back and win. Always ever consistent, and a really good job by him.
Only one non-Skoda win this year. That was Katsuta back in Sweden. That's crazy. That's a testament to the great job that not only the drivers do, but obviously that Skoda team as well. They're really switched on, definitely, and are pretty much always in contention.
Yep, I think that is pretty much it. We have covered everything from Spain. We've managed to do that quite efficiently, I think, actually, because there was a lot of stuff. We will be back with a full preview of Australia because it's such a close championship fight. I think it's worth dedicating a full episode to previewing that one. That is in mid-November, that event, so we've got a little bit of time to wait, but that's going to be an absolute cracker. It's going to be a fantastic fight. We won't be seeing Sebastian Loeb, unfortunately, in Australia, but will we be seeing him next season? I don't know. We probably should have discussed that, shouldn't we, actually?
Well, it's not too late. We can have just a final word on Lowe, because it was such an impressive win for him. I mean, he has claimed so many records with this one. He's third now in the sort of oldest people to win a rally. He's only a couple of years off the record, so we could see that. In terms of next year, I'd say a part-time campaign, definitely. We will see him for at least, I think, 3 rallies, but I'm more hoping for around 5 or 6, depending on rallycross commitments, because I know Peugeot pulled out, but I wouldn't be surprised if he still does a full season there, so that could be one thing to look out for. But yeah, James, what do you think? How often will we see Loeb next year? And I presume it will be at Citroën.
Yeah, I can't see him doing a full-time campaign. That
with M Sport, full-time with M Sport, replacing Ogier.
That would be the dream. Really, yeah. or even at Citroën, would just a full campaign in general would be a dream.
We're teammates with Ogier again. That would be something, wouldn't
it? Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But I do think that he's gonna. I think that taste of rally victory again will make him want to come back for that. So I think 5 or 6 events. I think we could see happen, but it will depend on just what he wants to do with his career. Because obviously this year he's been doing Dakar and Rallycross, but he won't be doing Dakar with Peugeot, and he won't be doing Rallycross with Peugeot. So if he's going to carry on doing that, as you say, he's got to move somewhere else. So yeah, potentially 5 or 6 events I think we could see, and I really hope that happens. I hope that he hasn't just thought, right, that's it, I'm going to hang up the boots after today. I hope that's not the case, but yeah, that'd be really, really good to see. So yeah, I think that is it then. So yeah, as I said, we'll be back for an Australia preview before that event, and yeah, we'll speak to you then. Goodbye.